Countless media reports bemoan the fact that South Africa is lagging behind countries like Lesotho and Zimbabwe. Paul Michael touched on this. I strongly disagree. I really don't think that South Africa is lagging behind at all. In Lesotho, our friend who sells vegetables on the street in Maseru, and a little bit of dagga on the side, is constantly being harassed by the police. Over the hills is a fence, and behind that fence is a bunch of foreigners, including South Africans, who have a piece of paper that says that their dagga is legal. Same plant, but different rules for where you fit into the economic spectrum. This is nothing for Lesotho to be proud of. Really, investors are lured by a supposedly policy-friendly environment, which is certainly not friendly to their own citizens. There's a similar scenario in Zimbabwe. Prices for the licenses, it started at $5,000 and then suddenly it went to $50,000. And it sounds exactly like Zimbabwe's economy and their inflation. I mean, what is this about $50,000 to be able to grow your nsangu? The Zimbabwean government has not released any policy documents, any guidelines, or any plan of action for their citizens. We only hear of people jetting up to Harare to meet with government ministers to find out what's in it for them. This is why the issue of cannabis legalization and drug policy in general, because remember that cannabis is the gateway to more sane drug policy as a whole. This is a human rights issue. And we've been banging on about this for 8 years now. We've taken it all the way to the hallowed halls of the UN in Vienna and in New York. And I even sat there in front of the Global Commission on Drug Policy and I said to them, what are you doing? Yes, you people who are staying in your 5-star hotels. What are you doing for us people who had to sell weed in order to fly to Vienna? Because that's what we did. We sold weed so that we could go and represent South Africa in Vienna. And I say that proudly, because this plant has always enabled us to do what we can do and to free South African citizens. That's why it's a human rights issue. Our judgment in the Constitutional Court in September last year places those who use and cultivate cannabis in the forefront. And that's very important. That's why we're not lagging behind. In fact, our drug policy friends from around the world are in awe of that judgment. It's never happened. And I don't think that South Africans quite realize how significant putting privacy first is for drug policy in the world. It hasn't ever happened before. Unfortunately, we're mired in this complex web of gray areas right now, and you should just see our inbox at Fields of Green for All. I mean, really, what can I do? How much can I grow? What can I do? The questions are just endless. They just stream in all day, every single day. But we will not allow our 8 years of hard work to be swept under the carpet by copy and paste regulations from overseas. So yes, we are in a gray area right now, but we shall overcome. But we shall not overcome that with these copy and paste regulations. This is the 21st century, and we need new solutions to old problems. Because of our vehement opposition to a licensing system, and this has come up quite a bit tonight, we have been accused of promoting a free-for-all. Not so if one takes a deep breath and considers how a self-regulating cannabis industry can work. The stakeholders in this industry are as many and as varied as those people in our so-called Rainbow Nation. Each and every participant in the legal cannabis economy needs to have the opportunity to belong in some way. The illegal, unregulated market is often called organized crime. Well, there's no such thing as disorganized crime, is there? We're very organized. I can tell you, as stoners, as growers, as traders, as healers, we're very, very organized down there in the underground, in our so-called black market. We like to call it the unregulated market.